Here we go. Let's see how it goes. For Sierra for her graduation tomorrow. She gotta have air horns. Red Plumber 503. What's going on, man? Raider Tommy, good to see you, homie. Rick, buenas noches. Raider Tommy, I'm gonna start making a push on Instagram, man. I'm gonna need your help, bro. Since you are the IG aficionado. So what up, Zane? What's cracking? Wesley Mitchell. I send mine. Rick James. It's Rick James, bitch. A salute to Salem, Oregon. That's right. Paul Rhodes. I did have a good day today. Thank you. Chrissy Mendez. What's good, Josh? I just watched your video earlier today. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. If anyone ever needs a plumber, hit me up. There you go. Red Plumber 503, Salem, Oregon. That is there you have it. Right? Has all your plumbing needs. Plumbers make good money. Plumbers absolutely make good money. Let's see if I could open up this chat. Ooh, I can. Look at that. Let's move the chat over here. Okay, I see. Said the blind man. No, I want it right here. Can I do that? No? Okay, but what if I move this over here? I put this right here. That's a thing, right? Can I make it bigger? That's what she said. Let me see. Um, there we go. There we go. All chats. All chats are visible. What's up, Irony? Good to see you. Have you ever been to Chocolate Bash in Elk Grove? I have not. I have not been to Chocolate Bash in Elk Grove. In fact, I have no idea what that even is, to be quite honest with you. Big P, good to see you, homie. Yes, I'm coming in here early tonight, huh? Eldon Knudsen. Hey, brother, I just left you a note on your last video about Ronnie and the NLR. Okay, I will be sure to check it out. I read all comments. So, yeah, I don't always have words to type in response to all comments, but I do read all comments. What up, troops? I send mine in return. This is my Heineken Zero, right? I don't. Where's the zero at? It's on here somewhere. There it is. I gotta find it. I am not watching the game. I am not. I'm waiting. I'm waiting for some checks in the mail. As a matter of fact, if I'm just gonna be completely honest, and so I hope to have it by Sunday, so that I can watch the good games. My eyes are bloodshot tonight, huh? My eyes get bloodshot often. I've been noticing that like the last year. I'm not sure why, but they get dry and bloodshot. I don't know if it's an allergy or uh, or what it is. I don't enjoy it. I'll tell you that. But I keep Visine. You would think I'm a pothead or something, but I'm really not. Absolutely, Red Plumber. Absolutely. But Rick, you gotta fill me in. What does the crowns mean? So there's something about like top fans, right? I don't exactly know what they mean, to be honest. It has something to do with uh, how frequently you're commenting on a channel. I've noticed that as I'm in lives and watching, um, if I'm commenting a lot, then I get to be number one. Um, but I don't know what that means for the channel. I don't know. Um, I should probably learn because it's probably relevant, right? But I really don't. I really don't know. Uh, let me see. For some reason, it's asking me to sign into Gmail. Uh, let me see. Oh no, those are capital letters. No, hold on. Um, all right. I just did this. Now I'm doing it again. Now it's going to tell me it's sending two-factor authentication to the phone. Yup, still me. Um, there we go. There we go. There we go. So I had set some I don't know what's going on here right now. This is not what I was looking for. Okay, close this. Yep, leave that. Uh, this doesn't seem to be showing my stream. This is showing something else. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing here. Um, sorry, like I said, give me a quick second because I'm um, trying to do some stuff. Um, and it's not letting me. We got 40 people in the building. No, I appreciate you guys. Thank you. Let me see if this will show me. Yeah, this is what I was looking for. Right. Okay. And so, stream settings. I try to do this before I before I go live, but it wasn't letting me. And so I don't know what the issue was. Um, but now it's still not letting me do what I want. Oh well. You know what? We are gonna just say fuck it. That's what we're gonna do. Gonna move this down here. I'm gonna move this chat back over here so I could see it. All right, whatever. And go from there. My bad. I was trying to make it to where in order to comment, you have to be a member of the channel. Um, but it's not letting me do that. Um, I use a third party setup for my lives. Um, and I don't know what the deal is, but like I said, it's being kind of difficult. Probably just because I don't know what the fuck I'm doing, even though I've been on YouTube all this time. Let me see. Live chat on, chat memory on. There we go. Subscribers. I'm gonna say you gotta be a subscriber for 1 minute. That's what I would like. Yes. Gang. Okay. Cool. All right. Um. Yes, it changed now. All right. All right. Right. Um. Why does it say homie hangout chat is now open to everyone? Let me hang out. Chat is now open to everyone. I don't fucking know. Anyways, let me scoot back in these comments, man, and catch up with you guys. I apologize. Um, let's see. Turret Destroyer was hidden by Instator Pit. I appreciate that, Saddle Pit. The City 18, what's going on, homie? Good to see you, bro. Glad you could join us this evening. That is my good friend, man. A lot of love and respect for that dude. Let's see. All right, now I'm gonna catch up. Top commenter, I think. Yeah, that's what I think. Watching this game good so far. Yeah, just here at work, brother. Ready to go. Heard that. What's up, Barry Wood? Good to see you. He said, "F that game. I got bills to pay." Yeah, I hear you. It's a dessert spot specialized in chocolate Dubai with strawberries. Bomb. You ever get a chance, check it out. Okay, I will. That sounds like exactly the type of place that my kids would love to go to. So, um, yeah, I'll check it out definitely, and I'll post about it on my Instagram and let you guys know what I think. Let me see. It's called chocolate. What? Chocolate Egypt or something? Let me see. Chocolate. I gotta scroll even farther back in the chat. I'm not very good at this YouTube thing tonight, huh? Let me see. Chocolate Bash. Babe, can you write down Chocolate Bash, please? Bash, like the Bash brothers from the Oakland days. Oh, is that for an old school reference? Hey, Paul Rhodes, I appreciate you, man. Thank you. Paul Rhodes making it rain in the building. Wait, hold on. There we go. Chocolate Bash. Yeah, I'll look into it. I for sure will. Josh, you still keep in touch with Solid Behind Blue Eyes. We are in touch, Miss D. That is Scoop's wife. And yeah, we stay in touch. Not a whole lot frequently, but we have a very open line of communication. She can reach out to me anytime, and I feel the same. I know that she's gonna be posting soon. Uh, Actually, I think she may have posted today, and I missed it. But if not, she'll be posting soon. Um, both of us have a lot going on in our lives, but a ton of respect for that lady, and a ton of respect for her husband, and she's a fighter, man. She's a fighter, and so yeah. Hope you're doing well, bro. No disrespect intended, canal, pero you look a little down. Just saying. Yeah, Barry Wood, I appreciate it. I'm not down like emotionally or anything, right? I'm not like in a bad mood or in my feelings or anything. I'm tired. Um, I am absolutely tired, and I think that's reflected a little bit. Um, but otherwise, no. Life's going fairly good. I'm frustrated. Well, let me catch up in the comments before I go on some fucking tantrum, right? Uh, but yeah, I'm frustrated about something that I hope is going to be resolved in my favor soon. I think it's how many times you comment. Yeah, that's what I think. Vic said I get chat Tourette's. Oh, looks like I have to pull both pedazos like corny and put in work tonight. I foresee my tarot cards being read tonight. It tells me to make the move. You gotta respect it. Saddle Pit been around for a long time, man. Did you get a suntan, bro? I did not get a suntan, but I am existing in two states where it is 1,000 degrees outside on a regular fucking basis. Uh, right now in Nevada, it is 78 and partly cloudy. Um, no, it's just been sunny a lot, bro. That's all it is. Is I'd be outside and it'd be sunny. Let me see. The crowns are just top chatters in the current live. If you tap the crown, it shows a leaderboard. Okay, what I live. Look at Zane got the logo. That's some member stuff right there. Let's see. Let's see. He said, just saying. I get it. Bipolar mom and criminologist. If that ain't one of the coolest fucking names of anybody on YouTube. if If you haven't started a channel, you probably should with a name like that. I will definitely tune in. Maybe it's that baby Edgar cut coming in. I don't know. Listen, Holmes. Listen. There will be no Edgars in Joshua's household. None at all. Okay. I am growing my hair out. That's what it looks like. It's got a little sideways tonight, but I am growing my hair out. I got the wave cap and everything, right? That I've been wearing since the last time I shaved it, just to make sure that it grows in right. Because I've been bald for years, and as soon as I get back to California, I'm gonna go to my barber JoJo over there in North Sacramento, best barber in the city of Sacramento by far, and I'm gonna go tap in with him at BVS Cuts, I believe it's called, uh, and he's gonna get me right on the sides. Uh, Ball Roads. I have three flowers in my medicine cabinet right now. Swear to God. And it's in my hair too. It was a little bit of a flashback. I ain't gonna lie. When I bought it and I put it in my hair, because I haven't had that shit in years, right? The smell of it, I was like, time changes a lot of things, and you know, they change the recipes and how sodas and candies and cookies and shit taste over the years. But that Tres Flores hits just like it always did. Uh, and I appreciate it. He said the baby Edgar though. Boy, if I ever come on here with an Edgar, uh, please feel free to unsubscribe and start a channel talking bad about me. Um, or just tap into one of the other channels that talks bad about me already, and yeah, you could do that. Uh, what up, Big Gibbs? Good to see you. What's up, Joshua? God bless you, brother. In Jesus' name, thank you, Pablo Dos Sancho. I appreciate that. Gibson, I'm whacking everything. All right, I'm slowly catching up. Yeah, Paul Rhodes again, man. I appreciate you too, brother. Thank you. What was for dinner? Stuffed bell peppers. So my lady makes these fire stuffed bell peppers. And tonight was no exception, right? Like the bell pepper is cooked just right to where it's got a little bit of a crunch to it. It's not soggy, and you can't break it off. But it's not raw. It's that perfect balance in between, and then the meat and the mixture in the middle is fire. Oh man, that's her stuffed peppers is one of my favorite things in the world, and tonight did not disappoint. I was very happy. Uh, it does sound fancy. Yeah, the chocolate bass. Shout out to rude Latinas. Yeah, there are many of them. Salute, gas mask. Josh, are you gonna do the soda challenge that Gunner and Dubs did? Absolutely not. Absolutely not, Adrian Torres. I do not see the joy in tasting stuff that sounds like it's gonna be disgusting, right? Now I have eaten some things before that I thought would be good, and it didn't measure up. But to walk into it knowing this probably ain't gonna taste good, that doesn't intrigue me. Uh, so no, I do not foresee myself doing that. I say absolutely not, but never say never. Um, but uh, but yeah, I highly doubt it. Nothing the casino can't fix. Yeah, the casino owes me right now. So, oh snap, I'm getting service. We're all good now. That's right, Big Pete. What's up, Oakland? Everything good to see you, homie. Great clip earlier, my boy. Much respect and well said. Thank you, LBC Robbie. I appreciate that. Need some three flowers, yo. High fades. That's what I'm going for. That's what I'm going for. Give me the high fade. Uh, the smell will bring back some memories. It does. It does. At least got you to laugh, bro. That's facts. Facts. You did. I need to go to my barber in Turkey. Um, is that just an excuse to go to Turkey? I mean, I'd like to go to Turkey. I'm sure they got some good barber there somewhere. Remember that one time I said my girl says I look like Reformed Khan because of my glasses? It doesn't help. The only thing that looks right on me is a bald head or slick back hair. Yeah. Yep. That is true. That is true. Uh, she watched the movie, what was that, Shot Caller? And was like, you look like all these dudes. uh, long live Stallone. I don't know about that one. Uh, I eat the bell peppers raw. Raw bell peppers are great, like in salad and that kind of stuff, for sure. But with the stuffed bell peppers, I like them to be cooked. Because I've been out almost 15 years. I don't know, but I heard that you can drop out without debriefing. Is that true, or do you not know? It depends on what you call a dropout, Eldon. Uh, so I've never been through the dropping out process or the debriefing process, right? So I cannot speak from firsthand experience about that stuff. Um, I do know that people went to the S&Y yard um, without debriefing. From my era of being in prison, you've been out about 15 years. I've been out almost 20. So our eras are pretty similar. Um, Debriefing is an official process reserved for people that are validated as members of a prison gang. So if you're not validated as a member of a prison gang, you can tell, you can inform, like anybody can rat people out, right? Um, but debriefing is an official process. And then if you go through that official process of debriefing, you are, at least back then, you were revalidated as a whatever gang dropout. That's where this language comes from. It's what kills me about a lot of folks in the streets using this stuff, dropout and debrief and active and non-active, and all of these terms originated in the prison system. These are all California Department of Corrections terms um, that then take on a life of their own in society, and social media helps that, um, where people get to talking and saying stuff, and it doesn't it doesn't line up, because now you will hear people say that a 17-year-old is a dropout, right? I was a dropout from the hood. What? That nobody used the language like that when I was a kid. So or when I was in the mix. So that dude, I mean, obviously he didn't debrief, right? He's 17 years old. You know what I mean? He just got a job at IHOP and got some chick pregnant and decided he wants to be a father and not be on the block. And now everybody wants to call him a dropout. So that kid wouldn't debrief. Um, so I don't know. I think a lot of those words have lost a lot of their meaning. Um, but in my era, if you were validated, then you wanted to not be in the shoe and you didn't have a parole date and you didn't die, then you had to debrief. And when you debriefed, you were revalidated as a such and such dropout. Um, and so could other people be clicked up but not be validated? Yes, of course. Um, if those people locked it up and went S&Y, would they be a dropout? Yeah, if you're clicked up and you hang up the gloves and back out of your commitment, then I think it's fair to call that person a dropout, right? And if you're not validated, then I guess you don't have to debrief to do it. And my understanding is people were allowed to go to the S&Y yards without giving up information on other people. That was kind of a phenomenon that I think was started during my time. Like when I first came into the system, if you wanted to lock it up, you just went to AdSeg. Like you didn't get to go hang out on some other yard somewhere and kick it. You just went to the hole because okay, well, if you can't be around convicts, then go sit in AdSeg. You know. So like I said, it gets, but then it changed as the proliferation of S&Y yards and as the administration wanted to encourage people to not be in the general population, and they would get first termers who ain't never been around to lock it up and go to S&Y yards just by spooking them. Right? Hey man, this yard's violent. They're at war right now. You go out there, somebody's gonna make you stab somebody, bada 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 bada. And or you can go to this yard over here, just sign this chrono. Fuck that, I'm gonna sign the chrono, right? Scared kid and goes over there. He's not telling on nobody. He's got nothing to tell. He ain't been anywhere. He just came from reception and got spooked into uh going S&Y, right? So there's a lot of different stories for a lot of different people. I did a video on the debriefing process. It is what I was always told the debriefing process was about, though I would admit clearly that that is the perspective of a bunch of people who never debriefed, right? Basically, that is what us actives, if you want to say that, and not that I'm an active gang member now, but that's what those of us who were active understood the debriefing process to be. Um, is that exactly what it's like for everybody? I don't know. I didn't do it, right? So I can't say from firsthand experience. Um, is there propaganda that goes both ways? Yeah, absolutely. You know. Um, so yeah, it's just depends, man, and on who you're talking to and what they're about, and yeah, three flowers is bomb, but you can smell that a mile away. Absolutely. The two strongest smells when I was a kid was three flowers and Cisco. Those were the two things that you could smell a block away, right? Mm. I often smelled like a mix of Tres Flores and Cisco. Um, but that was once upon a time. All right, let me see. I'm way behind, Holmes. The fuck? Uh, Rascal, check my last message. I'm curious what you think. Your last message? You sent me a message somewhere? I will look at that. F the casino right now, bro, for reals. Yeah, I can't. What's your take on Tyson versus Mayweather? I think I don't follow boxing like that, but I would say Tyson already showed us what it's gonna look like if he gets in the ring with somebody that can fight. When he went in there with Jake Paul. Not that I think Jake Paul's the best fighter, but he can throw a punch and he can take one, and we've seen how that went. I would not expect it to look any different if he went in there with Mayweather, and I feel like he's not gonna get the same amount of views as the other dude, Jake Paul did, because we've seen that movie. There's no way in hell Tyson goes in there and fakes it with Jake Paul and goes in and actually tries to fight fucking Floyd Mayweather, right? I don't think that makes any sense. So I saw biscuit and gravy flavored potato chips yesterday. I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it. Hell nah. Dax was pretty good for slicking hair back, but it'll make you go bald. Yeah. Eldon, they just staying on no good yards or 50-50 yards and doing it that way. Yeah. Yeah. It's there is a lot of emphasis now on what yard did you come off of? Where'd you parole from? And if you paroled from a 50-50 yard, if you paroled from anything other than an active yard, then it really doesn't matter what you did to get on that yard. And I'm speaking for certain groups. Some groups don't care as much about the 50-50 thing as others. But for those who do care, if you come off of a non-active yard, you're looked at as trash by active people. And it really doesn't matter. Did you debrief? Are you a dropout? Are you a step away? Are you a never really involved? Are you it? Nobody fucking cares, right? It's if you came off a bad yard, then you're in bad standings, and that's kind of the sum of it. Semantics don't so much matter. Man, I'm so glad that this shit is not my life anymore, right? That I don't have to concern myself with these things or wonder, and man, how do I fit in this or that, or what label works for me and doesn't work for me. And well, I'm just a dude out here in the streets, bro. You know, and I'm thankful for that. And I don't want to pretend otherwise. Let's see. Get there, get there, get there. What's up tonight, youth? Good to see you. Man, that was a great I seen your comment earlier. And yeah, I would appreciate that. Tyson fakes fights, y'all done for watching. Yeah, Big Daddy Trip 619. Good to see you. He's gonna get implants for hair in Turkey, bro. Oh, okay. Okay. What you eating? Oh, looked like ice cream for a minute. Looked like ice cream for a minute. What's up, Jordan? Good to see you. Three flowers and brute 33. uh I got no response on a Canelo Crawford. I do not have an intelligent response to that. They do the best hair transplants in Turkey. My homie has a full head of hair now. That's right. Three flowers I hear makes you sterile. I mean, I already got my kids, bro. I ain't even worried about it. but but apparently it didn't work when I was younger. What's up, C Dog? Yes, God bless the family. I appreciate that, man. Right back at you. Just listening, but meds are making me tired as hell. I hear you, Chrissy. I'm glad you're home from the hospital, though. Uh, that's a step in the right direction, right? Mystery Monk, I sent mine. The smell of three flowers is always be the same. I sent mine. Yeah, yeah, I like it. Uh, you have to check in to drop out. Yeah. What's up, Clover 28? Did you save your paperwork or did you put it in a box and threw the box in the trash? It's funny. I left a comment on this earlier on a video, right? What's up, Why baby? I see you. I gotta catch up in the comments, but I see you on the screen. Um, I left 99% of my paperwork in the garbage when I left prison, and I left with a small Manila envelope with some papers in there, right? I had a couple sheets of my medical papers from the cancer, um, just a couple things, and that was it. And it wasn't because I had anything to hide or anything else. And maybe I'll do a video on it. Although I already expect if I do a video on it, then people are going to be like, Rascal's doing a video because he's trying to cover for Dubs, because that's why you guys are asking me, because you've seen Dubs' video where he said he threw his paperwork away. I haven't even seen that fucking video, but I've gotten so many comments and messages and emails about it that I feel like I have. And so that's why I hesitate to follow up with it. But truth be told, no, I did not bring my paperwork home. And I will tell you why. Let's say, right, and you guys know I parole from the Pelican Bay shoot, right? I'm about to put some Visine in my eyes in a second. Making me tired looking at my own eyes. But I paroled from the Pelican Bay shoot. And if I was going to come home and be involved in the shenanigans, what that would have looked like is somebody back there tells me, hey, when you go home, tap in with this individual. And they would give me the contact information for that individual. And they might give me a bundle of some kites or mini writing or whatever, right? To bring out with me, right? Information that they want to send from the shoot out to the streets. Hey, take this with you and give this to so-and-so. This is how you get a hold of him. He'll be expecting you. Okay. Then I would have come home and gotten a hold of so-and-so, gave him what I brought out to give him, and that's it. I have my channel in the Bay, right? Who's the person who got at me or somebody else that they may have told me. And this person that I tap in with on the streets doesn't need nothing else. The fact that I'm coming to you and so-and-so told me to get at you and gave me the way to get at you, that speaks for who I am and where I'm coming from. Let alone if I'm bringing information with me, that's even more of evidence, if you will, right? That I'm coming from where I'm coming from. And you don't need to see my 114D from 6 years ago when I went to AdSeg the second time in Salinas Valley. Like, the fuck do you care? That don't matter. right? And so I lugged all my paperwork, every single piece of all my paperwork around with me for years. For years. I never threw any piece of paperwork away. But at the point of coming home, part of the freedom for me, and I'm not speaking for anybody else, and I'm not saying right or wrong, and I'm not defending anybody or I'm not saying anything about anyone else. I'm talking only about me. Part of freedom for me was not bringing that shit with me, right? I gave away the rest of my canteen, the rest of my hygiene, the fucking everything. I gave away socks and shoot, I gave away everything that I had, my TV, um, any artwork that I had, envelopes, supplies. I Man, I'm not bringing none of that. Like I said, I did bring a couple pieces of paper home with me that I felt like I might need just in my life coming out of prison. Um, but otherwise, I'm leaving this shit at the gate. Like, I lived a lot of my time in prison not believing that that release date was ever going to come. And once I started to internalize that, man, this release date is coming and it's coming up fast and it's going to happen. Um, I tried to lean into that as best as I could. Like, fuck, I'm going to be free, man. Like, what does freedom look like? Freedom looks like I don't want to bring nothing from prison to the streets. I'm That's how I felt. It wasn't because I had anything to hide or anything like that. It was just I don't need this shit. And I to be quite honest, when I came home, I sat at the table with some NF members. I was at the bar with some NF members. I was around some of those guys, not because I was functioning or plugging in or anything else, but there was some issues with some of my family, and I got involved to help clarify those issues. And that meant sitting down with some people. Um, and so I did. And didn't none of them ask me like, "Hey, fool, you got your last 128G? You fucking kidding me?" Like, that's just not how it works. That's not how it worked in my time. Maybe things are different now, or maybe things are different with other groups. I can't speak for that. I can only speak for my era and my situation. Um, but I can assure you there wasn't nobody checking no paperwork. And there was no doubt or no question about who I was or where I came from. And not because I'm some famous dude. I was not some big shot guy. I was not anything, right? I was what I was. So it wasn't like I had some huge reputation that preceded me. It was just if you want to know where somebody's been, you can ask them two questions and get all the fucking answers that you need, right? And if not one. And the people out there know how to do that. And it's a small world, right? The world of ex-convicts and homeboys getting out, whatever group you're part of, whatever you call homeboys, right? Is the world of those people and the revolving door with prison. That's a small world. And it's really not difficult for somebody to figure out who you are and where you're coming from. And so uh no, that paperwork would have been entirely useless. I probably would have been laughed at. I would fully expect that I would have been laughed at if I tried to show a piece of paperwork to one of these dudes. Hey, bro, just so you know who I am, homie. And they would have laughed. I guarantee, 100%, they would have laughed at me. And yeah, I don't, you know. So no, I did not bring my paperwork home. Um, and that's my reason for not bringing it home. Uh, would you say Lil Toro is a dropout? Nah, I just think he's a piece of shit. And he's a piece of shit because of what he did to that girl when he was an adult. Uh, but I'm not in the business of like I don't have to figure out if so and so's a dropout or not a dropout, right? I don't live a life where that matters to me. Um, Now if you come on the internet and you lie about some shit, and I can prove that it's not a lie, it's not an opinion or anything else, I can prove that you're lying, and you're out here lying and trying to brag. Um, then that's different. But even then, I'm not calling people dropouts, right? I call you a rat if I find paperwork that you told on people. Uh, but yeah, I don't. I'm not in that business, you know. To be honest, Rascal, to me, the realest one on YouTube when it comes to this type of content. I don't know if it's luck of the draw for you to come out of prison being considered solid, or if that's just your heart. Mm, I appreciate the compliment. I know a lot of people that came home solid, man, and just went on to live their lives. You know, a lot of them don't want to be on the internet, and I don't blame them. but but there's a lot of dudes who did their time the right way and just learned their lesson and came home. You know, and I think it's all about too the circumstances that you face. If if I did 25 years, would I have stayed solid all that time? Um, I don't know. I'd like to believe I would have, right? But who knows? Who knows? I think there's plenty of people who everybody's solid until the moment that they're not. And a lot of the people who make the choice to fold or flip or do whatever have been tested before and didn't make that choice. Um, I've seen people that did a lot of time in prison and they wind up becoming federal informants, excuse me, because they don't want to do a parole violation. You know, like the fuck? You just did years and now you're volunteering information because you don't want to do a parole violation, right? How many scenarios, how many indictments were kicked off by dudes that parole and then just get a hair up their ass? They go to the parole officer and like, hey man, here's a roster. I'm done. You know? So I bet all those people thought that they would stay solid through everything. And then something happened that changed that. And I'm not quite arrogant enough to think that I'm immune from anything like that ever happening to me. I'm thankful that I made it out of the lifestyle before I reached a point where it was too much. You know, I don't know what that would have been, um, but it is what it is. What's up, Joe Below? Good to see you. Uh, I appreciate that, Pablo. A dropout can be a dropout and still be okay if they didn't tell. A debriefer can't. That's one way to look at it. When you first hit the county and you go through possessing, they ask you where you're from and who do you roll with when locked up. I tell them I ain't from nowhere. That works, huh? My banging phase was solely in my youth and teens. Once I became an adult, I decided to take care of my responsibilities as a man. You know, I know a few people that made that choice, and I respect it. Gas mask. Our homeboy Gremlin went to YA, and he was a fool, right? He was a hitter. He was with the business, all that stuff, and and went to YA and handled his business in YA, and came home, kind of with the shenanigans, and got busted again. And then he was like, "I'm done. For I don't want to do this no more." Um, it's respectable. You guys were the smarter ones. It's more like a step back and a step forward at the same time. It's interesting. It's an interesting way to put it. Uh, Let me see. What's up, Braxton? I see you, homie. I'm getting down to the comments. I'm trying to get there. Um, let me see. Let me see. Let me see. What are they yelling about in there? Is she still working on her hat? Oh, my lady ain't listening. Yeah. Oh, takes several days to get 3 flowers out of your hair. Run block, it can. That's why you just take a shower, wash out what you can, put in a fresh layer. My uncle, who's not getting out anytime soon, who would be considered active, told me when I was a youngster that the life isn't what I think it is. It's a lot of backstabbing and craziness in prison. Your uncle's absolutely right, Big Pete. Absolutely right. Wait for the story tomorrow morning. Um, it's it's a bit of a crazy one, but it's a glimpse into life as a northerner and a norteño on a level 3 yard in the '90s in California. Like it It's eye opening. It's eye opening. I'm not somebody that comes on here and bashes the politics and the affiliates and all that stuff all the time, right? People make their own choices. Um, but it is a glimpse um into some buffoonery, right? Yeah, he wasn't lying to you. It's facts. What's the trip is yards don't flip like they used to when I was young. No, now this CDC is flipping them. Um, what's up, Most TV Reloaded? Good to see you, man. Salute. Rascal, what's up with the natives down there in the joint? Uh, Nothing really that I saw when I was in there. The natives were cool. The only thing that tripped me out about them is that some of them really got along with the woods. And I didn't understand that because I just kind of figured from a historical standpoint, if there's anybody that they're going to beef with, it's going to be the woods, right? Um, and that wasn't really the case. And so I was a little surprised about that. But otherwise, they do their thing. Um, I'm not getting your notifications. Almost missed another live. Damn, D at 209. That's unfortunate. I would suggest unsubscribing um, and then resubscribing and hitting the bell because YouTube or even YouTube may have already unchecked the bell for you. It's weird. Like they every now and then they audit or something and 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 just change who you're locked in with and who you aren't. And so you got to kind of keep up on it. They do that to me with various channels too. Too much red on red in my city ultimately pushed me away. When I look back on it, I realized it was a blessing. Yeah, yeah. Anything that gets you to walk away from the lifestyle, um, and just move on in a mature fashion, uh, I think absolutely is a blessing. You and me both are glad we don't have to be in prison with all the nasty politics. Yeah, man. Sounds like prison is real different than when you were locked up. In some ways, it is. In some ways, it really is. Paul Rhodes. I'm surprised by some of the stuff that I see, but then again, I'm not. Um, I'm kind of surprised that some folks let things get how they are, um, because it very much is a minority controlling the majority situation. And but I'm not surprised really at how that minority is acting. Uh, that's that's how they acted in the Bay too. It's just you didn't get to see that unless you went to the Bay, right? But yeah, it is very different in a lot of ways. That's good. My 6 kids know my whole past. They doing great. One in the army, 3 working a good paying job, and last 2 at home doing good too. That's right. Good to hear. Good to hear. I will say though, take what you learn from the streets and apply it to your modern life. Join a gym, either weightlifting or combat gym, business acumen, etc., etc. Yeah, there is a lot. There is a lot um, that we learn in that lifestyle that translates over. Um, and I think it's important for those of us that have been out for a while in particular, right? Um, to help people see how they can translate those experiences. Because a lot of times you come home from prison and you feel like you're unprepared. Man, I'm not ready for any of this. I don't know how to do any of this. I don't know how to have a job. I don't know how to be in a relationship. I don't know. And we're kind of convinced that we're not equipped to do anything that regular people do. When in reality, we are equipped to do a lot of that stuff. It's just uh it's just a little bit of shifting our focus, right? A little bit of translating and we actually are qualified. A lot of times we make better employees than people who have been out here all their life, right? We can be in more committed and not more committed relationships, but we could be more inclined to be a loyal and attentive partner to somebody than others, right? Like there's just different stuff and helping guys see that when they come home can help boost the confidence and it gives hope. Um, Father Boyle, one of my favorite lines that anybody's ever said. Father Boyle from Homeboy Industries said that, people are dying from a lethal absence of hope. And I really believe that's true. And sometimes that lack of hope is because we don't feel equipped. We feel like we're left out and we're less than, right? We're sensitive people, and we got insecurities. Um, and so anything that helps somebody build up some of that hope, I think, is a good thing. And part of it is you have the skills to make it out here. You just may not realize it. Super Saco and Gin, that was my drink. Saludos, Rascal, Semas Junior Familia. What's up, Osito? Good to see you. You're not missing anything from that video. Appreciate that. Bringing your paperwork home is like doing burpees out here. Your feet are out here, but your mind is in jail. You're just wondering when you're going to go back. Yeah, and I think, burpees is a great exercise. I don't like the performative nature of it. Um, I, but I also think there's a high standard to burpees, right? And some of these people that do burpees on the internet, they're not doing it justice. And so then it's kind of like, hey, fool, if you're going to come out here and play that role, then at least do it up to par, right? Like, don't have a video with a bunch of people doing burpees and they're not in sync like that. Because if we actually looked like that on the yard, oh my God, we'd have been slaughtered. Everybody would have been thrown up in the corner and doing burpees on top of it. Like, the machine stops, right? If somebody ain't on track, machine stops. We starting this shit over. Run this back. And we're gonna keep doing this as many times as we need to for it to look like a well-oiled machine. And so if you want to do it out here, um, do it like that. Inside your papers is respect. On the streets, respect is respect. Right? That's a good way to put it. Regardless of all the trolls and haters, you and Dubs are two of the most intelligent men on YouTube. I appreciate that, Rick. Thank you. You're all a bunch of torta pounders. I know that. Uh, let's see. Oh, now we got the tattoo conversation going back and forth. The tattoo artists found each other. Uh, uh, what's up, JB Bustos? Paul Rhodes. Seems like a lot of YouTube ex-cons come on YouTube and talk too much. Just my opinion. One thing I like about your channel is that you speak on what you know and bring facts straight up. I appreciate that, Paul Rhodes. And sometimes I talk too much too, right? Um, it's all perspective. That's San Francisco in my background. Oakland, everything. What's up, Braxton? My Louisiana homeboy. Good to see you. Uh, yeah, 128G is not gonna save you told for the most part. Um, let's see. I can help link you guys up. Groups and Mora, I can do that. What's up, Jason Toro? Good to see you, bro. Sorry, I know you commented at 9:30. It's now 9:36. I'm behind in the comments, but good to see you. They got along with the Woods, but wouldn't take any blankets from them. They don't. That's cold. That's a cold joke right there, Barry Wood. Uh, Missed another live. I'm happy to watch it now, but another great live. Much respect to you, and I saw the live you did with your daughter. My wife has been in the hospital. Please say happy birthday. Hey, happy birthday to your wife, Gary Ashworth. I hope that she feels better and makes it out of there soon, man. And uh, yeah, thank you. It Jasmine and I had a good time. Uh, what's up, Jongo? He said, "What's up, big homie? Just got home from Bible study. What was the topic today, Jongo? What was the topic?" That's my buddy, man. I don't care what everybody says. As one who's done a lot of time locked up and gangbanging as a youth, doing YA helped me see it was time to slow down. Being 15, acting like 18 wasn't meant to be. Good for you. Not looking for anything full time, just a few days a month. Unless you guys already have dope black and gray portrait. September is Suicide Awareness Month. Is that right? I did not know that. Mm. But isn't that also on the way you're treated by everyone in the free world? People make mistakes, and salute to all who change and make a better life for themselves. It is. National And I missed it. National Suicide Prevention Lifeline provides 24/7 free confidential support for people in distress, prevention, and crisis resources for you or your loved ones. Thank you, Disco. I appreciate that. And I will I'll make sure that I work that into some content. I did not realize that it was Suicide Prevention Month, but it's important. I have had friends of mine who um, treated temporary problems with a permanent solution, and it sucks for everybody involved. What's up, Jake Cabrera? I appreciate it, homie. Saludos. I think there's something to be said about the militant mindset some cats receive while being locked up. There is. There is. And as with anything, it's in moderation, right? Too much of anything is not good for you. Obsessing over anything is not good for you. You could drink too much water and you're gonna drown, right? So it's just about balance. And folks have to find that balance for themselves. Brother, with the amount of insight you have and the viewpoint on things makes you one of my favorite ex-convict content creators. First person I listened to was Boxer. Out years is still FBI. I appreciate that, Eldon. Uh, One thing that always messed me up was growing up in a house with 3 gangbangers. I found myself responding to disrespect in the same manner as a gang member would. I picked up certain tendencies. It's a good point, man. There's a lot of people who come up in communities where they're not affiliated per se, but the norms that they pick up, right, are um, those toxic norms, you know, and sometimes it's for survival, but the goal of life is to live, not just survive, you know. I mean, surviving is definitely better than the alternative, um, but yeah, like I said, yeah, even as a civilian, depends how I'm feeling or what I'm doing. Okay, I'm skipping some of the tattoo stuff just to make it through the comments faster. Did your daughter ever get to her make a wish? Paul Rhodes, hey, thank you for asking. One of them did. One of them did, but one of them has not. And so Kayla's make a wish, which I had posted about it uh, on my other social media. She hers was like a shopping spree, basically, right? And so we went to the Roseville Mall, and she got to do that, and it was dope. She got to ride in a limo, and I got to ride in a limo too, right? Went out to eat, um, and I was kind of surprised. Um, I would have thought she would have picked something else as her first one. The way the Make a Wish Foundation works is they have baskets. I think is what they call them, baskets or buckets, and it's like if you could go anywhere in the world, where would you want to go? If you could meet anybody in the world, who would you want to meet? If you could have any experience you wanted in the world, what would it be? If you could buy anything, what would you buy? And I think there's a fifth one. And then they help you flush out those ideas, right? They help the kid flush out those ideas, and then they ask you to rank them. What's your number one, number two, number three, and then they do their best, and they start with your number one and go from there. And some of her choices really caught me by surprise. But I mean, hey, that's what she wanted. That's what she got. She had a blast. Um, Jasmine has not got her make a wish yet. So both my daughters are eligible because both of them have the same hereditary cancer condition that I have. My son didn't get it. Um, and so we're waiting on Jasmine. And not sure what hers is going to be, but I'm pretty sure her number one thing was like meeting Billie Eilish. And the Make a Wish people, they make miracles happen. So we will see. But thank you. That was kind of a flashback with the question, man. I appreciate that. See, man, some of you guys be paying attention. All right, let's see. Uh, let's see. I think I'm catching up here. Working on it. See, every now and then it pops the comments back up to the top. What's up, Mo? Good to see you. Jordan Olafson. Get stoned in the building. My son is a wide receiver. Son is a wide receiver. Said I agree with that. J, I agree with that. Never gangbang, but grew up in Salinas. Definitely picked up a lot and conduct myself a certain type of way to this day. That makes sense. What type of literature would you recommend to someone who wanted to expand their mind? I don't know. It's always tricky for me to pick books because I don't trip off of books as much now as I used to. Mm. So honestly, I'd have to sit down and think about it. But maybe I'll do that. People had asked before on like to do like a book list, and so maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll do that. Didn't she pick Hawaii as where she would go? Um, Jasmine. So Kayla picked Hawaii. Um, Jasmine, was it? There you go. Thanks, babe. Jasmine picked Paris. Um, and I think it's to bake, to be a pastry chef. Um, but her number one is Billie Eilish, and she wants to go see her. She wants to talk to her. I think help her write a song and go on stage with her. Uh, and so we will see. Um, but it's dope because as the parent, uh, whatever she goes on, I get to go on too. And so if she uh, if she winds up going to Paris, then shit, that'd be dope. I've never been there either. But yeah, the Hawaii trip was Kayla. Uh, Depression is real, brother. My sister will be turning 19 in 2 weeks. She took herself out when she was 13. Guys, my condolences, man, and so young. You know, like depression is real, and it's real for adults too. Um, and and for kids, man, it's hard to be a teenager right now. You know, um, it's hard, and some of you guys might get a kick, man. Go back and watch the live I did with Jasmine this weekend. It's up on my channel still, um, but it's under live, and check it out. You know, she talks from a 15-year-old perspective, 15 in a day, but hey, 15. About about communicating and teenagers and parents, but I think it's valuable not just for parents. But some of you guys might get some value from that. The people who were watching really got a kick out of it. Um, you know, she's an articulate young lady and but also very candid, right? Uh, and I think there was a lot of wisdom in the things that she said, uh, and it can be helpful. You know, in particular though, if you have teenagers in your life, um, you know, who knows, right? It's information, and information doesn't hurt, right? It's what you do with it. If it's useful, use it. Okay, cool. Yeah, I'll connect you guys. Uh, I would favor Miyamoto over Sun Tzu. I think Sun Tzu's overrated, um, personally. Um, Carl Young, Carl Young, turning convicts into leaders. Good to see you, man. Agent Orange. I work with someone who has or had something similar, but his baby mama didn't want nothing to do with him. He was trying to locate kids' pediatrician. Who has or had something similar, but maybe mama didn't want nothing to do with him. Gotcha. Um, well, you got my email. Get at me. I don't know if you're still in touch with that person or whatever. Um, but uh, but yeah, we could talk offline. Marcelino Avendano. Josh goes to Paris, right? Boy, that'd be some content. I've had 3 old ladies take themselves out the game. Yeah, serious. And I think it's more common than a lot of us realize, right? Those are works on dark psychology. With great power comes great responsibility. Josh is cool in EPA, but if he crosses on University Ave, he fits the suspect description. Yeah, that's about right. I have been pulled over. When I lived in East Palo Alto for a long time, we didn't have a grocery store, and so I would go to the Safeway, but the Safeway's in Menlo Park, right? In like the border of like White Menlo, Redwood City. Um, so from East Palo Alto, I had to cross into Palo Alto, Menlo, and then like I said, right there, Redwood City, or um, or go to East Menlo and still cross into Menlo, Redwood City. And man, 7 out of 10 times that I went to Safeway after dark, um, I got pulled over by the cops. Never once got a ticket for anything, but I got pulled over. Like no exaggeration, 7 out of 10 times. It was ridiculous. My firstborn is on her senior year of high school. I'm only 33. It's a trip, man. Congratulations. My firstborn is also on her senior year of high school. However, I am a little bit older than 33. They skipped my question, bro. Oh, my bad, the devil. I thought you guys were talking back and forth to each other. So honestly, I've been kind of signing it on with you and Mora both. The cheap knockoff I got with a charger is only like 80 and runs works like a champ. Yeah, see, that's your last comment was about tattoo guns. You got to re-ask the question, and then I'll answer it for sure. What's up, Hobby? What's good, Josh? Man, it sounds like you better start brushing up on your French now. Right. We'll see. We'll see. That says, homie, we always push through. I can't relate to prison in any way, but I can relate on certain hardships that life can throw at us. Yeah. I have a 13-year-old. I make sure to tell him I love him every time I talk to him and let my foster kids know I care about them. Absolutely. Absolutely. And thank you for being a foster parent, man. Uh, my lady and I were just having a conversation today, and I'm not gonna get all into the details of it, but it was a reminder uh, of some of the challenges of parenting, right? And sometimes parents aren't ready to parent. That's just the reality of it. And that can set you up for some failures in life uh as a kid. But then there's people who come along and um and they don't take the place of a parent, but they give you that stability, they give you that identity, they give you the love, um and the security, right? It's I think a lot of stuff with kids is just feeling safe. And it sounds kind of corny or cheesy or generic, but uh, a lot of us just did not feel safe growing up, and that's the reason that we did some of the stuff that we did. Um, it's not a justification, it's not an excuse, but it's a reason. And so adoptive parents or foster parents come in and provide something of that, whether it's short term or long term, but it can have huge consequences in somebody's life. And you can't prove a negative, right? It's you have somebody and they get some foster parents or they get some adoptive parents or whatever, and they wind up being successful in life. You don't know how unsuccessful they may have been had they not had that, but we have plenty of examples of people who struggled in life from not having that. And there's examples of people who went through that same struggle and came out of it on top, right? For whatever reasons. I don't want to paint with too broad of a brush, but yeah, foster parents, adoptive parents, it you guys changed the world in some regard. because I believe parents change the world. Um, that's what I tell everybody when I know that they're having kids. Um, and the time you spend with your kids, you are changing the world. You never know what your kid, and when I say kid, I don't just mean little baby, right? They're your kid forever. You never know what your kid's gonna do. You know what they're gonna become passionate about, what they're gonna do for work, or what hobbies they're gonna pick up, or sports they're gonna play, and then what their kids are gonna do. You know, and the time goes on, right? The lineage goes on, and so being a parent is one of the most significant ways that your average person can really change the world. And we are changing the world for better or for worse, and uh, so salute to you, man, for taking on that responsibility. Agent Orange, no, my coworker had hereditary cancer. Hold on. How did it do that? I don't know. My coworker had hereditary cancer but couldn't locate his kid. Couldn't locate his kid. Hold on. Um, now I gotta find the couldn't locate his kid to inform him about the risk in cancer. Oh, yeah, that's rough. There are some forms of cancer that are hereditary, and there are some that aren't, right? But the hereditary ones are pretty strong. They're pretty strong. Uh, Joshua, they are called machine, not guns. Okay, my bad. Well, in prison we call them guns. What's your thoughts on the entire GOP voting to not release the Epstein files except for 3 female Republicans? I the the GOP made a real issue about this whole Epstein stuff. So I think Epstein was a predator and an ex offender, obviously, right? And so this is not capping for him at all. There was a narrative that built up around him for people's political interest on the right and in conservative circles. And I don't know how true that narrative is, right? I don't know where the line between exaggeration and reality is. Um, but it was harped on and harped on. And and obviously the public is interested, and Trump ran on that, right? He ran on that firestorm around Epstein, and and just went along with everything that was being said on the internet by these groups, because he wanted them to vote for him, and they did vote for him. And then he gets in power, and all of a sudden now it's a Democratic hoax, right? Um, and and I think the Democrats obviously are playing politics with it also, um, because at one time they were saying, "Hey, this is not as extreme as the most extreme corners of the internet are claiming it to be," right? But now that they see blood in the water and they see that Trump isn't matching what he had said before, they're like, hey, maybe it is as extreme as the most extreme corners of the internet said. And we need to find out what the fuck you're going to do about it. Trump and Epstein were friends for decades and decades. It's pretty unrealistic to think that, um, like, their personality profiles are very similar, right? In terms of liking younger women, liking pretty women, and using their power and their money to get women to do things, right? To take advantage of them, to manipulate them, whatever the case may be. Um, they they both fit the same profile. I mean, Trump bought the Miss America pageant so that he could walk in on all the Miss America people not wearing clothes, the girls, and nobody could tell him anything about it, right? Because he was the owner. And women who participated in those beauty pageants have come out for years and said that that's exactly what he did, and that they didn't like it and it wasn't comfortable, but they couldn't complain to anybody because he is the owner of the pageant. Who do you report the owner to, right? And they're models, and this is their shot, and so they kind of suck it up, and so it's unrealistic to think that one doesn't know nothing about what the other was doing. Is there some list of babies that were being sacrificed on Epstein Island? I don't fucking think so. Um, but are there a lot of people of money and power in this country who feel like that entitles them to the bodies of women? Yes. Of all political persuasions and of all races and everything else. Absolutely. Um, I it's sad because I think a lot of those GOP people, if the president was different, they would be voting to release those files. The reason they're not doing it is because they don't want to piss off Trump because he controls the Republican Party. And they're worried about their short-term political future. So they're going against what they really think for short-term political gain. Um, and if it was a different president, they would be foaming at the mouth to do it, right? Um, so it's just sad. It's sad that people in positions of power are relinquishing their power, which is in turn empowering somebody else. The masses are letting go of their power to help the one have even more power, and in the hopes that he trickles some of that back down to them. Um, it's I think I see it as a moral issue more than a political one. I think anybody who participated in the abuse of women needs to be held accountable, whether they're rich or poor or Democrat or Republican, or it happened one time or it happened all the time. Um, I make no exceptions when I say that the abuse of women and children is wrong. There's no asterisk, there's no caveat, there's no, well, in this case, I make no exceptions. And I don't feel like that should be a controversial position. Um, Apparently, Trump feels otherwise because, again, he's now calling it a Democratic hoax. While you have women who have experienced abuse standing up there saying, I am a victim, right? And you have women who have ended their own lives recently. Um, and it's reasonable to believe that part of that was because of the stigma and not being heard and everything else. Um, and they're dead now, right? And in part, I think because they were ignored. And I just, I don't know what it's going to take in this country for people to stand on principle and value instead of politics. Um, I don't get it. You know, we're shooting down boats now coming out of Venezuela. Like, it's, we're doing things that we have no business doing. We have government officials that are telling the Supreme Court to go fuck themselves, right? Um, that hasn't happened before, you know. Um, it that hasn't happened before. So there's no checks and balances. The Congress isn't doing their job, right? They're supposed to be part of the checks and balances. The court is doing its job, but nobody's fucking listening. Therefore, there's no checks and balances. If you're in a system where only the executive is in charge and there's no checks and balances, that's a dangerous government. You know, that's an autocracy, right? That's a dangerous space. I think that Trump wants this to be like El Salvador and Bukele's government in El Salvador. And I think it's terrifying for the United States to be run the way that Bukele is running El Salvador. And it's not necessary, you know. Um, our country is not run by gangs and infiltrated at the highest levels, right? It's it's ridiculous. But that's all my politics talk for this chat. Hey, gracias, Jose Gambino. I'm working on it, homie. Jose Gambino. Wait, hold on. I didn't even make a rain for you, my guy. Here you go. I'll probably be on here about another 10, 15 minutes, man, and then I'm gonna call it a night. We get a lot of kids in gangs of trouble. Yeah, I bet, bro. I bet. Again, thank you, Jose. We are fostering a 5-year-old. His dad was supposed to get out August 2025, but now his parole date is June 2026. We have to now meet in November 2025 about their future together or different route. Yeah, see, that's just gotta be complicated stuff, man. I've taken in kids, but I took them in. Gracias to watch it. I'm gonna leave that up for you. I I took in young folks, but they were teenagers, in early 20s. Um, I I it's a whole new it's a whole new world when you're dealing with young people, and so salute to you for that. We're the only example for our kids. Be the best you can. Yeah, what you teach them, show them day in day out is going to shape a kid in so many ways. It is. That's why I talk to my own kids and let them know that they have it rough, and we can help them. Yeah, and I think it's a powerful example. My 5-year-old's in San Diego, but I read her a bedtime story about an hour ago. Felt blessed to be a father. Yeah, absolutely, Mo. And sometimes we can't be right next to our kids, right, every day for various reasons, you know. But finding ways to still be present, finding ways to for them to still know that they matter, you know. I my 17-year-old's a senior. I got a call from the school today that said that she was absent, so I called her, right, and sometimes she answers me and sometimes she doesn't, um but she called me back and it gave me a chance to ask her, you know, what happened. Um, and it was just a mix up. She's a part of a club at school for seniors, and so she missed some of her classes, but she didn't. She was like, I was at school. Um, but then it gave me a chance. Hey, well, how's your day going? And just kind of check in with her on stuff. And but I want her to know I'm paying attention, even though I'm not right there. I think it's important for them, even 17-year-olds, much less 5-year-olds. Watch John's two-part Baby Joker. Mateo spills it's a cold, cold world. The betrayal was just so much. Yeah, Corco, those were good videos. Those were good videos. Very interesting pictures. Um, but those were good videos. I may not be a fan of the individual, but I appreciate good content. And those two videos was good content. I had my secretary send a couple bucks for your daughter. Did you get it? Her name starts with a C. Jojo AZ. I will look. Uh, I will look. Fuck Donald Trump. I know I don't want to hear about every other politician. Monterey Rodents. Soho. It was a power play for votes. It was. Do you think it goes as deep as a national security issue? I do. I do. Uh, they first said he wouldn't release it because he was on the paperwork. Now they don't want it out. Right. Um, yeah, that's the thing too, is these aren't intelligent arguments. Right? It's the expectation is that everybody has the critical thinking skills of a 2-year-old. Shout out Rascal, much love from Westside to Larry in Central Valley Fast. So that's what I appreciate, Rattlesnake 10. Shout out to TC. Epstein files are a political issue. They're a moral issue. And if you're refusing to release the files, there has to be a reason for it. Yeah. Yes, they're weirdos, but I think the files have people from other places that would show we do backdoor deals with people that are labeled as bad people. I think we absolutely do backdoor deals with people labeled as bad people. For sure. We're doing that now, right? With Russia, with El Salvador. Like, the US has always done that. Um, but they made the mistake, if you will, of arresting Epstein and charging him and alerting the world to his charges. If you're gonna do that, you gotta follow through. You gotta follow through. Um, what's good, bro? I saw your video about Dubs and the Wood. In my opinion, the Wood is wrong and making himself look bad at the same time. He's doing all this to himself just for views. That's sad. That's just my opinion. Yeah, I'm gonna keep watching. I see you rated 211. I'm gonna keep watching his channel when he talks about other stuff and kind of see where it goes. You know, we'll see. He's new on YouTube. Um, like I said, I don't want to repeat myself. You know, I expressed myself in the video today. Um, I wish him all success. Um, I don't think that that the Ronnie dude has ruined his channel or anything. You know, um, it just we'll see where he goes from here, and what he chooses to focus on in terms of content. Epstein lives at 13616 Monterey Avenue, Baltimore, California. Thoughts on women working in brothels in Nevada? Are they abused? DJG, good question. From my understanding, which is limited, uh, the brothels in Nevada, so those women have health care. Those women are paid very well. They are all adult women, right? They file taxes on their money. There is security there. The the way I understand it is the women run the show at those brothels, right? They're ain't nobody getting snatched off the streets. Nobody's getting tricked into working there. Nobody's being forced to do things that they don't want to do. The women do what they're comfortable doing, and and they get paid for for what they do, right? And apparently they're comfortable with the wages. Um, so so I don't think that's the same as Figaro, in Los Angeles, right? And I don't think it's the same as getting some teenage girl who's a cocktail wait or who's a waitress and being like, "Oh, come be a waitress on my yacht," right? And then the girl's out there on the yacht and, "Oh, hang out with my friend," and the power imbalance. Because that's where a lot of abuse comes from, is a power imbalance. You're just a worker and this is a powerful person, and you're intimidated, and you do what they want you to do. You don't want to do it, but you don't feel like you can say no. And maybe nobody's holding a gun to your head or tying you down and forcing you, but you don't want to be there. You don't want to be doing that. That is not what you thought you were going to be doing when you took this assignment, and you're not comfortable with it. If it was up to you, you would walk away, but you don't feel that you can. And that energy, that's all set up by design. To me, that is abusive. I don't think that that's what's happening in the brothels in Nevada, right? So I do think that there's a difference there. Uh, I could be wrong about what's happening, but I think there's a difference. And the power imbalance, I think, is one of the key things. Every single Dem in office right now is ready and willing to vote for the release of the files, whether high-ranking former office holders are in there or not. Republicans damn sure aren't matching. That's true. That's true. And I would expect that there is Democrats and Republicans on that list. Absolutely. Everyone looking at one thing that them list could hold, not everything that could be. It could be a money list of all the 1%, and that's why it can't be outed, because we the people would see 110% of everything. Yeah, and what list, right? Like, the whole idea of a list is kind of an internet invention that took on a life of its own. Um, but these women are saying that they're building a list of the dudes that they know of, and I'd be very interested to see that. Very interested. It starts to smell fascist. If the list has Bin Laden and Putin and JP Morgan, no, that list is not coming out. The rich know where to conduct such behavior. There are cities in the U.S. that do not take report for certain crimes. Example is Coronado, California. Is that right? I'm unfamiliar with that. Another great concert. Thanks again, my guy, listening to you while I'm working the night shift up here at Stanford Hospital. Much appreciated. All respect and support from Monterey, California. I appreciate you, man. Stanford Hospital, huh? My kids were born, well, my daughters were born at Lucille Packard, man. And, man, they did right by them. Both my daughters had somewhat complications when they were born, and the staff at Lucille Packard was class act. My eldest was born in '08. Our eldest kids are around the same age. Joshua, yeah, yeah, just about exactly. Um, Mine was 4/14/08. Spent my first kids growing up working, drilling rigs, 7 on, 5 off, 7 on, 9 off when I was. Called my kids nightly. There you go. It was Cash App. Okay. If it was, I replied to it. Um, I replied to it. I'll double check it, but I'm sure if it was sent that I got it. And I hearted it. Uh, I just didn't know it was from you, bro. Thank you. Dak Prescott is trash. Yeah, I've heard that before. He's not ruining his channel, but I believe he's ruining his credibility. Yeah, like I said, we'll see. We'll see where it goes. Hope it goes up. The chowders actually don't look good for a grown man. That Israeli intelligence dude got backdoored 2 weeks ago. We're gonna come to find it was Israel all along on some Hyman Roth Corleone shit. Um, Epstein had a relative that was intelligence for Israel. Um, Epstein did intelligence work for Israel. Um, the relationships between the United States and segments of the Israeli government and power structure are disgusting to say the least. Um, and yeah, I'm not a fan of the Israeli government whatsoever. Um, yes, wish all the best. Stop bashing, not to get confused with hate. I managed an escort service in North Hollywood for 3 years, and all the girls that work for us came there looking for a job, and sex is their job. Nothing wrong with it as long as they're 18. Yeah, like I said, I think there's ways um, that probably make more sense, but um, in that situation with girls knowing that that's their job and they're adults, then I suppose that's fine. But the issue with these girls that I've seen, these women, um, is they did not sign up for that job, right? They signed up for a different job. Go Niners off top, always. My oldest was premature weight 3. She's 4.0 headed to you. Said that's dope, Mo. That's dope. Um, they get spit on for kickoff. Is it true Oakland Latinos United gets more hyenas than Denzel? Asking for a friend. That's a good one. All right, Raider 211. You have a good night as well, man. I appreciate you. The president wants the files to drop because he knows whose names are all on the B&L, including his. Yeah. So look, uh, I appreciate you guys. Another wide-ranging conversation. Thank you for being a part of the homie hangout. Thank you to you guys for your generosity. I think I'm gonna start naming folks that super chat in my videos the next day or something. I don't know. I'll try to figure out some kind of way to recognize you guys if that's something that you're interested in. But I absolutely do appreciate it, and I appreciate all you guys for your comments, the silent observers. Salute to you, uh, and we will do it again tomorrow, man. Stay tuned. I got an interesting story tomorrow about Solano. Talk about betrayal and all that other stuff. You guys will see it in the morning, and then I got a family function to go to tomorrow afternoon that I'm gonna wait and tell you about after. But I'm really excited, and so more young people doing amazing things, man, and I'm super proud of them. So. All right, folks, help others move with excellence. That's what homies do. Help yourself at the same time because you're worth it. Help your community because they need you. And stay tuned. We got more to come. Eyes never lie. See you. Mo, Agent Orange, Jordan.